Oh,
I
Depends
have the
on what
Mac, and
operating
that's what mine is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 25 also.
oh, interesting.
So
You
do
can
I.
do that on a Mac? You can do
Yeah.
20 on the Mac? Okay, same idea, you think? Go to the video settings and see what
But
happens.
then they have like, an arrow, and you can see the other people who are in the other half.
Yeah, that's if you want to go to the next window. Right.
Right.
Ah, okay.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. If everybody would be able to mute themselves as we begin our service for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here, either in our Zoom room or streaming on our YouTube or just watching later on our YouTube. However it is you're coming to tonight's service, welcome, and we are very happy that you are attending. Tonight, we are going to be technically in the last Shabbat in the month of Adar, but really beginning our month of Nisan, because we have our Shabbat tonight, Shabbat HaChodesh, meaning the Shabbat of the new month. And of course, there's a new month every month, or we would say the new month every month. But Shabbat HaChodesh, the new month of Nisan, is special. And we have a special, a special day to celebrate that we are in the month of Nisan, which you might think would be the 7th month because it's 6 months after Tishrei where we have Rosh Hashanah. But Nisan is actually considered the 1st month in the year, even though the actual new year is in Tishrei with Rosh Hashanah. But the month of Nisan, here where we have our month of Passover, is considered to be the 1st month. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And again, thank you so much for coming and attending. It is my pleasure to invite up to our Zoom room here, Leah Sharon, who is going to be our wonderful music leader for tonight as we join together in our first song, our opening song, Hine Matov, how wonderful it is when we all come and dwell together.
Hine Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Wonderful. It is now my pleasure to invite up again to our virtual Bima here tonight to bless and sanctify our Shabbat candles, Marcia Sweeten. Oh, Marcia, you are still on mute. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Marcia, for that beautiful blessing as you brought in our wonderful holiday of Shabbat. It's now my pleasure again to invite up Leah as I invite everyone to please rise, neither body or spirit, as we begin our formal Ma'ariv service with the Baruch Hu.
Baruch
Everyone may be seated as we continue now with our Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishberotehem barakia kirtsono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzivaot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo, Yisrael. I now invite everyone again to please rise in either body or spirit as we continue with our Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Everyone may be seated as we continue along with our Shema and our next part of our Shema, the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Uktatam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emetz. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. We continue now with our Micha Mocha. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. So far, we have been doing prayers that we would be doing pretty much any evening of the week. But when we come to our song, Yismachu, this is one that is done especially for Shabbat, a special Shabbat prayer. So when we're singing along with Leah at home, we want to make sure that we put that nice, that good Shabbat oomph into our nice Ruach spirit as we bring in this wonderful holiday of Shabbat.
Yismachu, Yismachu b'malachutecha. Yismachu, Yismachu b'malachutecha. Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Ba-dam bam, ba-dam bam bam bam, ba-dam bam bam bam.
I was trying to move my picture around to represent dancing in that. But anyway, we come now to our Tephila, our Amidah, as I invite the congregation to please rise in either body or spirit as we say these wonderful prayers together, both praising and thanking God.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Belohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Gula Lifnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atarav lahoshia, mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, mechalkel chaim bechesed, mechaye meitim berachamim rabim, somach noflim berofech cholim, umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato b'shenei afar. Micha mocha bal gevurot umido melach. Melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lehachayot metim. Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelu ha'selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
Everyone may be seated as we continue now with the Kiddushat Hayom. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. And may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise, Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Now, in my 6th grade class earlier this week, I got a great question that does pertain to the Amidah. In the Givurot, we say the line, Mashiv Haruach HaMarid HaGashem, usually saying during the winter, asking for rain. And we got the question, well, when do we switch that? And it's actually coming up pretty soon because it is the first morning of Passover that we switch from that to the other phrase, Marid Hatal. So this week, next week, and the week after on Shabbat, we'll still say that Mashiv Haruach HaMarid HaGashem. But the week after that, we will be back towards Marid Hatal, hopefully with some nicer weather like we enjoyed this week. We're going to continue now with a little bit of silent prayer, followed by coming back together with the wonderful song, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu Shalom, ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
We come now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our service for reading the Torah. Tonight, as we'll talk about, we have a wonderful double Torah portion. But I invite everyone to please rise now in either body or spirit as we virtually take the Torah from the Ark and sing together Al Shlosha Devarim.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim, Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed.
Everyone may be seated. Our Torah portion this week is Vayakhel-Pekudei. It is a double Torah portion, the last two Torah portions in our book of Exodus. So next week, we will begin Vayikra, the book of Leviticus. It is a double portion this year because we are in a non-leap year, a non-pregnant year. One way that you can tell when another leap year is going to be coming up is how early the holidays feel. So when we have a Passover coming up at the end of March, we feel that means we're probably getting close to a leap year in the Jewish calendar, and that is quite true. In fact, next year will be a leap year. However, the first holiday that we'll feel is late again will be the holiday of Purim, because the leap year means we add in a second month of Adar. So we won't feel like the holidays are late again, even though, as always, they're right on time, until our holiday of Purim next year. It is now my pleasure to invite up our Aliyah for tonight, Harvey Siegel, as I call him up by his Hebrew name. Let me just bring up our before blessing here. Yamod Herschel Lev Ben Zalman le'aliyah haTorah. You are on mute, Harvey.
Okay. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bochar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'notan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayikel Moshe et kol edat bnei Yisrael vayomer alechem eleh hadvarim asher tziva Adonai lasot otam. Sheshet yamim teaset malacha uvayom hashvi'i Yehiye lachem kodesh, Shabbat Shabbaton l'Adonai, kol ha'osevo lemalachto yomat. Lo ta'avru esh bichol mishpotechem ba'yom ha'Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaim olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher Koach, and thank you so much, Harvey, for the wonderful and beautiful Aliyah. Our thoughts now turn to those of our community and families who are ill and in need of healing. We think this evening of Elwood Frederick Bryan, Rick Westerman, Karen Levinson, Laura Alberton, Mark Zellman, Sarah Varad Bat Shoshana, Richard Hoffman, Evan Georgie Johnston, Kathleen Minardi, Margie Sufi, Sheila Alterman, Sharon Gutsky, Ronnie Brown, Carol Neymark, Larry Neymark, Kathleen Archambault, Rabbi Ellen Dreyfus, Jay Field, Stefano Michelasi, Denise Blackburn, Jan Bernstein, Larry Levine, Len Schutzman, Steve Tatiner, Rob Dicker, Scott Pensgard, Beverly Klein, Harvey Waller, Dolores Jaskierski, Rabbi Dara Lerner, Valerie Foxman, and all who suffer, whom we know not by name. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yakov, Vimotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel B'Leah, Hu Yivarek v'Yirpeh Chol Yisrael v'Yishlach Lachem B'Meira, Refuah Shlema, Refuah Tanefesh, Refuah Taguf, V'Nomar Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind. And let us say, Amen. We continue now with our Misha Berach.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We now return our virtual Torah to our virtual ark. As I invite everyone again to please rise, neither body or spirit, for V'zot HaTorah and Eitz Chaim Hi.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe.
Everyone may be seated.
Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba b'tomhecha me'ushar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba b'tomhecha me'ushar. Shalom, shalom,
wonderful. And we now come to our community prayers, as it is my pleasure to invite up to our virtual bima to read our prayer for Israel, Fran Dvorkin. Oh, Fran, you are still on mute.
There we go. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, and Yesher Koach. And it is now my pleasure to invite up to read our prayer for America, Mike Fields.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing with those who are in need. Help us to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways we serve you. Bless our country that it may always be a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Amen.
Amen. And thank you so much, Mike and Yesher Koach, on the wonderful reading of the prayer for America. So as I mentioned, this week we are in the Shabbat HaChodesh, the special Shabbat that happens before the month of Nisan. A little history that I always think is very interesting is that there can be 2 times throughout the year that it's possible to have 3 different Torah portions. So on Shabbat, we always have a Torah portion, of course, that goes from the beginning of the book, from the Torah, all the way to the end of the Torah. Then we start it back over. And on the first of the month, or on what's called Rosh Chodesh, there's a special portion as well. And when that first of the month and Shabbat, or when Shabbat happens to fall on that first of the month, on Shabbat HaChodesh, that means there's also a special third portion that could be done. The only other time in the year that can happen is on Hanukkah, if the first of the month of Tevet also falls on that Shabbat of Hanukkah. So a little fun, interesting, at least I think very interesting tidbits on our special Shabbats where we get to read multiple Torah portions. However, that's not exactly what I wanted to talk about tonight. I wanted to say, since we are now in the month of Nisan, the month of Passover, starting the holiday of Passover in just 2 weeks, I thought it would be appropriate for a Passover story. So this story goes back long, long ago. As someone used to say once, way back in Minsk, there was a very wealthy family about to host a Passover Seder. And they invited everyone. Unfortunately, this was not at a time of pandemic, so everyone was able to come to this Seder. And of course, when this was happening, everyone was dressed up to the nines. Everyone was trying to be as fancy as possible for this very special Seder. They said the matzah, even though it was still, of course, stale and didn't rise, it seemed to taste better there. The gefilte fish was from the finest fish, the brisket from the best cows who went to the best universities, and then, of course, became delicious brisket. So everything was going to be wonderful. So people came from all over the town, dressed up as much as they could. They started getting into the Seder, saying different blessings, the blessing over the karpas, the parsley, the blessing over, although not yet the actual blessing, but the first blessing of the washing of the hands, when they hear a knock at the door. They go to the door, they think it's another guest that was perhaps, arriving late, and they see what they perceive as a beggar. Someone who is not, supposed to be there, and he says, on Passover, I hear it's okay to come into others' houses to be hosted for a delicious meal. And the family of this, they say, no, it's not. You get out of here. We don't have anything for you here. And the beggar leaves. They close the door, and they go back then to the Seder. They go through the Seder, they start to get to the Magid, the telling of the Passover story. Of course, they're on the plagues, a lot of people's favorite part, when they hear another knock at the door. So there they go up, they open up the door, and there is somebody dressed in probably the fanciest tuxedo you have ever seen, tails, a top hat, everything that you could imagine for back in Minsk. And they say, "Oh, you must have been late. Please come on in. We're just getting to the best part. The plagues, it's going to be great. We have a whole bunch of different little things that we're going to do to make the Seder engaging." He comes in, he sits down, they get through the Seder, they tell the Magid, they get to the blessing over the bread, the blessing over the matzah, and then it is time for the festive meal. Well, the person who came in wearing the tuxedo takes a matzah ball out of the matzah ball, opens up his jacket pocket, and stuffs it right in. And people think, well, that's an odd thing to do, but this person is obviously very well-to-do, so maybe he's got something going on. The guy takes then a piece of gefilte fish, stands on up, opens up his pocket, and sticks the piece of gefilte fish right in. Then goes, of course, to the main dish, the brisket, takes a big handful of the brisket, opens up his shirt, and dumps it right down into his shirt. Well, the people are a little bit aghast, but again, they think, well, this person probably has something, knows what they're doing, and think about maybe even taking some of the food and putting it in their own pockets. But someone in the Seder says, well, why are you doing this? Why are you wasting food on your clothes? And he says, of course, you think this is, of course, what you want. I came here earlier dressed as a beggar, and you shooed me away. But when I came in dressed as much as I could, then you invited me in. So this is, of course, who you are supposed to feed. The people then realized that the person before him was actually the prophet Elijah, and understood the error of their ways. And over the next year, were able to bring in more and more people for their holiday of Passover. So as we begin this holy month of Nisan, we'll have to think a little bit differently of how we are going to be able to be engaged with everyone around us. But a story that we can always take with us is that no matter who you are worthy, of course, of being able to come to a Passover Seder. It might be virtual this year, but can still be invited and open our virtual homes to those who might be in need. And with that, I will wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom and invite up Paul Hines up to our virtual Bima tonight. Oh, wrong Paul, sorry. Paul Hines.
I don't really need to be seen. It's okay, Rabbi.
Oh, but we would love to see you. There you are.
Oh, there we are. Hi, I'm Paul Hines. I'm representing the board of directors tonight. Welcome, everyone. And thanks to Rabbi Camel and Leah Sharon for leading our services this evening. Next Wednesday at 12:30, Uli Widmeyer returns for his Lunch and Learn series on classical music. This next installment will cover opera, ridiculous plots, and even bigger emotions. Look for Zoom information in the Beyond the Building email. Next Thursday evening at 7, Lifelong Learning will present Mean Girls of the Bible with Sherry Kaiser, Kenya Madison Gabler, and guest host Rabbi Jennifer Kaluzny, say that 10 times fast, of West Bloomfield Temple, Israel. Look for Zoom information in upcoming emails. Passover planning has begun. Please be on the lookout for virtual Seder information for March 28th at 6 p.m. with a Zoom room opening at 5:30. More info to come. Please note that the Seder will be both captioned and have sign language interpreted. Torah Study will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. Talmud on Tap will be on Monday at 7:30, both hosted by Rabbi Camel. And then please note that Rabbi Kaznowski is still on sabbatical and will be returning on Saturday, March 27th. In the meantime, please contact Rabbi Camel or Cody Garrett for assistance. And don't forget to spring forward this weekend and change your clocks. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Paul, for those wonderful announcements. We now come to our concluding prayers for our Shabbat service, our Aleinu, as I invite our wonderful song leader back up to our virtual Bima to help us with our Aleinu, as I invite everyone also to please rise in either body or spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula leotzer breshit, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ותקן עולם במלכות שדי, ונאמר והיה אדוני ומלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Everyone may be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those of our community and families who are no longer here. And tonight, as a community, we remember and honor the Yortzites of Regina Bell, cousin of David Baruch, Max Micknick, grandfather of Eileen Landau, Celeste Nietzsche, grandmother of Kara Kapp, Leonard Sokol, father of Howard Sokol, Arthur Whitkov, father of Harold Whitkov, Rose Ashbach, great aunt of Neil Stern, Dorothy Levine, mother of Muriel Finkel, Michael Davis, husband of Carol Davis, Raymond Feldman, father of Lawrence Feldman, Herschel Goldfarb, father of Fran Dvorkin, Harry Mandel, grandfather of Craig Mandel, Bella Peshkin, mother-in-law of Francis Peshkin, Anne Simon, mother of Freda Ungangst, Harriet Kaplan, grandmother of Gwen McAllion, Walter Mayer, father of Bruce Mayer, Toby Mintz, mother of Dan Mintz, Madeline Schwechter, aunt of Carol Neymark, Nathan Sosnow, father of David Sosnow, Susan Swanson, cousin of Cynthia Sawyer, Shirley Sweeten, mother of Marcia Sweeten and grandmother of Naomi Fine and great-grandmother of Evan and Alexis Fine, Eugene Foray, brother-in-law of Leona Taras, Joan Harris, grandmother of Jacob Cinnamon Murphy, Adele Nadler, mother of Lila Warshawski, James Elkins, father of Barbara Johnson, Irving Cantor, father of Deborah Miller, and Bernard Joseph Ruby, father of Barbara Hedrick. We also mourn the recent passing of Sophie Pollock, wife of Jack Pollock and mother of Donna Hirschkoff, as well as Gail Kalish, aunt of Michael Fields. We join together as one community as we rise as one community in either body or spirit for our mourners Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yumechon v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam umei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah barechu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high Bring peace to us, to all of Israel, to all the world, to which we all say, Amen. Everyone may be seated as we close our Shabbat service tonight with the song Ose Shalom, a song wishing peace on all of us.
Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Let us all go out to this Shabbat, to joy, to rest, and to peace. And may we go out to this holy season of Passover with love and compassion in our hearts for all in our community. And with that, I wish everyone a wonderful Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Leah, beautiful music tonight. It was wonderful as
Thank
always.
you. Thanks for having me. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
You put the chair back.
Shabbat Shalom. We're a little early today, but that's okay sometimes. Okay, well, Shabbat Shalom. Yesher Koach, Harvey, wonderful job on the Aliyah. And anytime anyone wants an Aliyah, just let me know. At least for the next couple of weeks, we'll get you on.
Good
Shabbat
job,
shalom.
everyone.
Shalom,
Follow
everyone.
Harvey.